Welcome back to OPTCG Central, your hub for all things One Piece card game related. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It really helps us bring you more One Piece TCG matches and more.
I think Ace won that. We had Bordeaux last weekend. Emu won that. So is this time for Zoro today? Or will it be one of those two to say, well, here in the West, this is now the top boy? We'll see. It's interesting, really.
Absolutely. And we're firing it off. We've got Fizzkay there with Emu and JC Browny with Zoro. So two of the decks that we have mentioned. And Fizzkay's probably got a bit of an advantage here going second, don't we think?
Exactly that. Zoro really wants to take second off Emu. You really want to get that nice play, get Searcher out, and then go into the free cost Mihawk into the new OP13 Zoro. So already going first is at a disadvantage here.
Yeah, Saint Charlia is a great turn one play, able to get 4 cards with your leader effect as well into the trash. And because Charlia, once you've used Saint Shalria, sorry, should I say, you can use your leader effect to just trash it to be able to draw as well. So really powerful, filling your trash up, finding those pieces in your hand quite early on in the game.
So let's see, what do they have? You can see a 5 Elders already in hand. Emu's so consistent. That's one of the biggest things about the deck I find is so consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're going to find all the pieces. You're going to be going through pretty much your whole of your deck with all the searches that you are firing off, and it is very useful. But we're seeing the first iteration of that empty throne being played out. So empty throne is rest this stage, rest 3 of your Dawn, and then you can play out an Elder card which is equal or less than the number of Dawn you have on your field. Just gives you so much efficiency being able to play those big characters out and still have Dawn available for counters, or to play those search events as well to be able to dig a bit deeper as well. But yes, we do get the first Elder out, which is, it looks like it was Saturn, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Saturn grabbing that Mars, off the search.
Yeah, Saturn is great on play. Look at the top 5. They don't go in your trash when you finish with them. They go to the bottom of your deck, but you do get some knowledge about what's going to be at the bottom of the deck. You can stack it in the order you want it to, and you do get a guaranteed hit pretty much off that search. So that's another card in hand as well, and a 5k body on board.
And here comes the Tashigi from Zoro, which I presumed was coming when you see the free cost Tashigi come out, but or you presume it was going to be a Cavendish, because the downside here is the free cost Tashigi, cannot protect the 5 cost body.
Yeah, that's true.
But it allowed the leader swing, it allowed it the rest, so it's got what Zoro's already off to a starting run in that retrospect.
So just clarifying what's the top and what's the bottom of the life there. Very important that we get that in the right order. So Fizzkay making sure he's taken the right card as it is stacked in a certain way based on the rules of the game. So Fizzkay now goes to their 6 Dawn turn, able to now play a few more options. Can play the Mars that was found off that last search now as well if needed, and it will allow him to KO at least one of those characters off the board. 5k or less, you trash a card from hand and you can KO 5k or less. So that could be the option here. Depends on how he wants to do it. He has also got the Russia in hand as well, which could be quite impactful at this point as well.
It'll be interesting to see. Ooh, trashing 5 Elders early. Interesting.
Yeah.
Must mean he has a few more in hand, obviously. So some of the angles is tough to see what's there. I feel like playing the Mars now is probably one of the good plays. Getting rid of that 5 cost Tashigi, because with Zoro going into 7, you could play out Law, so you could have already swung with the Tashigi and then bounce it to replay it. So, ooh, okay. Mars comes down, kills the free cost, guess stopping preemptive protection going forwards.
Yeah. Again, it's a smart decision based on the fact that you do want to be able to play further Mars to be able to eliminate some of your opponent's characters, or even using the world's equilibrium cannot be maintained forever. An event which allows you to literally, for 6 Dawn, be able to KO one of your opponent's 6 cost or less. But having that Tashigi on board, the protection Tashigi would have caused issues using either. So at least now that frees up that ability. So we're seeing JC now swinging 8 with that Tashigi. Just going to force out an event probably from hand or lose 2 cards unless he decides to take this one. But as Emu, you don't want to be taking that many life too early. You do want to counter out as many of the early swings as you can and maintain as much life as you can, and does so.
With an early game block there. Just trying to count how many cards he has in trash in preemptives. Because I think so many times, sometimes we as players just think of Emu of they need 7 cards in trash to get the main abilities. But there's so many that have a couple that need 10 cards in trash to get the full effects.
Yeah,
really
absolutely. Yeah, Saint Shepherd Jupiter needs 10 in trash to be able to give all of your elders plus 2k, making all of your elders 7k base. That includes the 10 cost, drops it to 7k base. But it does make it a lot more powerful. So having those 10 in there is really important. And then obviously once you're up to 19, with that stage in play, your leader gets plus 1k on your turn as well. So makes Emu a 6k swing without any Don attached when you've got 19 cards in your trash, thanks to the Empty Throne. And Emu is an interesting deck, isn't it? For those people who are new to the OP13 meta, by the rules of the game, you can't have events that cost 2 or more in your deck. So Finger Pistol and those kind of things are not allowed in your deck. So you have to play the low cost events. But at the start of your game, you can play a Mary Jo's stage. So having the ability to play the Empty Throne before you start the game, you pick it out. You start the game with a stage, such a powerful card, and with such little stage removal in this game, it makes it very difficult, doesn't it?
Very much so at the moment. You
Yeah.
know, it's why in the mirror you don't see the 7 cost stage being played. They play out the other version, which I'm sure at some point during today we will see, just because obviously Emu runs the event that can actually counter the 7 cost stage. It's the only
Yeah.
deck at the minute in the meta that is running stage removal. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I run Emu as well, and you have one copy of both stages in your deck. And when you play the mirror, you play Mary Juice instead of the Empty Throne. But we are now starting to see Fizzkay get closer and closer to that 10 Don turn. And that's where things get a bit scary. And that trash is looking fairly good as far as having the pieces in there that you need, as well as what's on board as well. And now let's have a look. Oh, look how many restand events we have in hand for JC there.
if he gets to use them, it could be very, very deadly. Emu already being down to 2 life for pre 10 Don turn is not a bad place to be with that many restand events.
Absolutely. And especially
Uh,
when you have characters that could come out and rest blockers, it does make things a lot better. And remember, once you've got 7 cards in trash for Emu, your elders are protected on board. They can't be removed off the field. So you do have to rely on resting your opponent's cards. And this is where the green Zoro has effects that can really work well in that play.
yes, both with Dead Man's Game and then the to rest either Don or blockers, which in this case would be blockers, and then with the restand events just to restand the leader and just apply the pressure as we're seeing right now here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we saw all Don exhausted there by Fizzkay. So now there is going to have to be a way to deal with this 8k attack coming in. No, he decides to take it. And he does get a trigger. So able to look at the top 3 cards. That's another 3 cards in trash after this search.
Just adding up.
Exactly. So
Because that's the
does
other
manage to
caveat
find an elder.
with a net with Emu getting to extra 19 cards in trash, it gets the extra 1k power to leader based on swing as well.
We see the block there this time. And the great thing about that particular elder is that you do, thanks to Walkery, get to draw when it gets KO'd. So that does give you an extra card in hand as well. And he's probably happy to use that blocker as well, knowing that he was going to go into his 10 Don turn. Obviously, yes, 1 less attack before you do fire off your 10 cost elder, but They do maintain that presence, but now Fizzkay is obviously going to use that leader effect, that stage effect, to be able to play the 10 cost for only 3 Don. Absolutely insane when you think about it. Does need to rest 1 more Don to be able to fire it off and trash a card. Trashes the Stussy and rests a Don. And now looking for those 5 pieces that he needs to play out. And we will have 2 on plays here as well, but one of them's not going to work because you've only got a 6 cost law out. So the on play KO ability only applies to 5 cost or less. So probably won't fire that one off, but we'll definitely play off the search to be able to have a look at the top 5 cards and potentially grab an event or a counter to be able to utilize in a little while. Thanks to Saturn's search.
We see him taking the Jupiter, solid 2k counter if needs be, as well as just a great body powering everything up to 7k once it's on board.
Yeah, absolutely is. It's a very powerful card, as you mentioned earlier on as well. Makes everything 7k, and it does give it a great impact. So now, is he going to swing with Zoro or not? Yes, he is. So giving law -2 and swinging into the law. Just wants to clear up board. Has to be conscious of the fact of the restand event and what Zoro does. So we'll want to make sure that there's still Don open for some counter events here as well, but really wants to start making an impact on that 5 life that still stands for JC here. JC's taking that one. Did he get anything useful in hand?
It was
there?
a 2k counter, I
So,
believe.
yep. So that will be useful. Yeah, I think it was Kawamatsu, wasn't it, by the looks of it?
Yes. Fantastic character. I do love all these
Yeah.
new full art 2Ks. I feel like they add so much more like color to decks. It's very enjoyable.
Absolutely.
So the Zoro player's in a really tough place here. So like in this matchup, the Emu players played it really strong. You starve the Zoro primarily not to give him resources, hoping he's not going to see the Tashigis. In this case, he's only seen 1.
Yeah.
And now you sit across with that board and you think, well, he's got 2 blockers. So unless a Kawina comes down now and rests 1, you're relying on that and the restand event. But with 2 Don up,
Yeah. I think the Queen is, as you say, that 2 Don is imperative, isn't it? It's having those 2 potential 4K events. So you can play the Queen now, which he looks like he's about to. So yeah, Queen comes out, rests one of those blockers. You're probably going to rest the one so then you don't draw. Yep. Rightfully so. War
hitting
Quarry.
that War Curry, because
Yeah.
Karina only hits 4 costs, so it hits that.
Yep. Oh, that's
And
right. Yeah,
then,
actually, it's the
yes,
only one. But it's also the better one to do
yes,
because
to
you don't
stop
want
the on KO.
to stop the on-K draw. Exactly. So, right. Is that a bluff there? Keeping 2-3 Dons open. Oh, no,
Here
he's
we
not
go.
going to bluff. He's just going to go for it. Let's see now. 11K swing coming in with leader. Do you have what it takes here to be able to counter out of this one? Or do you just do the block to begin with to not give much away?
The Emu player here can either way now. With leaving only the Don up to do 1
Ooh,
potential restand.
it doesn't look like there's any. No,
Ooh,
no events at all.
rough.
Okay, this is probably going to be game here.
Well, he has a blocker still on board with Mars.
Yep.
So this is the downside with Zoro if he's leaving the Don on, not extra Don for a second restand.
Yeah.
Just allows the Emu player to just block, take it, and spin, or has the ability now to counter out.
9K goes up to 11 now. Okay.
Wow.
Managed to counter out. Did have enough 2K counters and a 1K there to be able to counter out of that swing. And because it wasn't blocked, the Zoro player could not restand.
That is the downside there, right? If you do the
Yeah,
block, it still allows it to go through. So
exactly.
it's tough.
Yeah, if you've got the counter, you want to make sure that you can survive that turn and keep that blocker on board, because that's now going to be a free 7k swing coming in
Yes.
as well if you've got another Elder in hand.
It's the
So,
question is, do we see a go for game turn here? Or are we going to have a more passive wait a turn, which I think Emu should here effectively.
yeah.
It's the great thing about Emu I found playing into it. It has just the ability to just use all its bodies, play another 5 Elders, get them all back up. It's just so lethal.
Yeah, absolutely is. So JC now countering out of that 7k swing from Peter. And now what does Fizzkay do? If you're going to play another Elder, do you now just sort of like maybe poke once or twice more, or just what's going to be the play here? As you say, you don't want to give your opponent too much resource going into the next turn, because they might find the pieces in life that they were looking for. But at the same time, you do need to start pressing as well, because you need to make sure that you can go lethal next turn. So Emu's now 6k. There's definitely plenty in the trash there, as we can see signified by that dice. So 2k counter being used for that one. Another 7k swing coming in now with Nustero.
What are we getting out? Okay.
He's just dropping another blocker. That's 3 blockers on board now. Make that 4.
The Fortress of 5 Elders has appeared.
And this is a really smart play here. He's got 4 blockers and doesn't really leave JC with much option. Restricted his hand size to make sure there's not really much JC can do here. And
it doesn't leave many choices. He's already used 3 restands, so Fizzy already knows he's used 3. Zoro at a push runs 4. Is he gonna have it? I think the writing's on the wall here.
Yeah, well, you can tell here, swinging 15, takes a block, draws a card, restands, does another 15, takes the block, draws a card, and it's going to be a pass. And now Fizzkay here has 3 7k swings and a 6k before dropping an Elder. And if he's got the Nusteros in hand, he could probably just avoid the Elder, cheat a Nustero out for 3, and then swing again for 7. So let's see what Fizzkay's play is going to be here.
This is a very good showcase of the power of Emu without any events.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, definitely so.
Which is very impressive, really, because you come to know that normally they have loads of events, because one of the things is it's so efficient in finding the bits it needs by being so consistent. So the fact that there was no events in hand, which is what he might be searching for here now on the Saturn.
Yeah, you can see him not deciding to use 4 Don to play out the Saturn. So the stage effect has not been used here. Was about to use the stage effect, but decided against it and went digging a little bit further. So now looking to try and find a piece off the top 5 cards. He's still looking for something because he has got the event, the Searcher event.
I'm trying to see what's left in his hand, or trying to think what we saw in his hand previously, which is what he's trying to search for. Because still 2 blockers on board. Even if he pressured with everything he has now, you could 5 Elder. You'd still get 2 more blockers back up, but then you're still at the risk of DMG or Kawina. It's tough.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. So now trying to think, is there a way that you can pressure that life and not upset it a bit too much and make sure that you still sort of have the ability to block? So he's going to use that event now to dig a bit further. Top 3. Takes the counter, which is exactly what you want. 4K counter event. That'll be very, very useful indeed.
You know, the Zoro player sitting across will be thinking, I'm sure he's done his practice and his reps. I've seen no events be used. So at this point,
Yeah.
he's probably thinking his whole hand's full of events.
Yeah.
So like even more mind games.
It is, exactly. And sometimes a lot of this is a bit of a bluff, isn't it? It's keeping
Very
your
much so.
opponent worried about what you might have. So, leader effect now. Do you want to... Okay. A Saturn that just hit the board is now just being trashed off the leader effect to draw another card. Again, Fizzkay still digging for more pieces.
See what's in that hand.
He does now have 2 counter events. He's got a 4K counter and a 3K counter. So we'll keep that 2 Don open for those, which will definitely be useful with the 2. Now he is going to use his leader effect.
And what are we going to see come out here? Another blocker.
Yep, there we go. So we've got 3 blockers on board. 2 Don left open for what is going to be essentially 7K's worth of counter off 2 events. It's looking really good and a really good controlled play by Fizzkay. Just
Very
goes to
much so.
show, as an emu player, sometimes you can get a bit, not, I won't say greedy, but a bit rushed to try and win the game. But you do end up giving your opponent too many options from life. This way, Fizzkay's just been controlling the number of cards JC's been able to get into hand, keeping that life controlled at a certain level. And now we're seeing an attack coming in into Peter, and that's been taken because he knows how important that is, making all of his opponents' elders 7K. Block comes in from that swing again now from the leader. We are going to see the restand event.
Ooh, all 4 in one game. Very impressive.
So another swing coming in now to Emu. Another block. And a pass goes over. So Fizzkay holding on to all those events just in case, because, you know, there is going to be probably another turn here. And we're going to see.
It's very, very tight right now. I think it's been a very different showing of how Emu's played. You don't normally see just blockers being played out raw, back to back, having 4 in on one turn. You're so used to seeing the 5 elders being swung, like we're seeing here. You know,
but he's been very respectful of his opponent, which is important. You know, you can't take anything for granted. So as you say, a very good controlled play, seeing lots of blockers being played.
Especially as that first game of the day, you know, you need to be focused. There we go. We see the 5 elders finally, which means all 5 will be coming back and setting up a fantastic place. You know, Fizzy now knows all 4 of the restands have been used. Apologies.
Yep.
And like now, he doesn't have anything to fear. Like Deadman's game could come in, but as you've said, he's got the counters in hand. Very comfortable position at this point.
Yeah, exactly. He's in a very strong position. Good knowledge of what the opponent's used. Grabs another 3K counter event into hand, which is going to be extremely useful. Leaving enough Don up will obviously be really important here. So it's going to go 7K with leader. He was about to counter. Did show the Hiyori as well, so gives a bit of knowledge to Fizzkay there. But decided against it.
No swing. No swing with his Russia. Very interesting. Just constantly reserved, constantly starving out, you know, forcing now the Zoro. Every turn it's been you now have to play the most optimal option, which I don't think has come for Zoro at all.
No, it
really
hasn't.
So it's been rough.
Fizzkay's now in a position where you're going to have 10 Don available, 5 7k swings plus a 6k swing off leader. Distribute that 10 don however you want against 1 life. So yeah, play a blocker down, but you're going to need to have several blockers down here at this point. Get 2 blockers down. Okay, that's good.
But it comes out rested, so it's a
Yeah,
very
so it's not going to help much.
I presume it's set up so that no, there's no reasoning to it
No,
because you would
just
rest itself for the KO protection.
exactly. Yeah, I think it's pretty much he's conceded here that the game's over. That play just didn't make any sense to either of us,
No,
other than
no.
getting the Hiyori back in hand. But yeah, I think this is it now. We're going to see Fizzkay going for game here now. So it starts off with a 9k swing, giving the law minus 2k, blocks with a law, and that goes into trash. We're now going to see a 7k swing from another
8K.
one of the elders. 8k even, as you say, yeah. Takes the life. 7k swing. 2 cards committed. No
Then here
don
we go.
open. Yeah, and we're going to swing with leader before we use the blockers, and that's game. Fizzkay takes round 1, and Emu goes to show how strong it is, especially when it wins that dice roll and goes second.